Hey guys, I'm IndoorSmokers, and I know I get a lot of views on this channel, but today we're going to be talking about a different kind of views as we take a look at the Vuse Digital Vapor Cigarette by R.J. Reynolds. So yes, we're talking about R.J. Reynolds of Big Tobacco. So the Big Tobacco has entered into the e-cig realm. It's actually been a year or two now since they first started buying or making their own electronic cigarettes. I see it as a minor victory because of course the Big Tobacco's first impulse was to try to crush the fledgling e-cig industry in its infancy. That didn't work. So then of course, you know, if you can't beat them, join them. So they did all start rushing out to acquire their own electronic cigarette companies, and Vuse is just the latest release of several of those we've seen. Alright, so once you peel it open, and this is the Vuse Solo. I got this for I think $8 at the 7-Eleven. They do have a $30 version which is rechargeable and comes with several cartridges and a couple rechargeable batteries, I believe. So the only thing this comes with besides the cartridge and the battery is a charger. So this is a rechargeable battery, unlike the Enjoy, which, you know, you've got to factor in. That does make it a little bit more of a value. Now the package, it looks like you just rip it through this aluminum foil there, like a pill. Bam! Pop it out. Now one of the things I don't like is that they refer to this several times as a tobacco product, as if they're trying to almost convince us that e-cigs are tobacco products. It says right here, the Vuse is a tobacco product because nicotine used in this product is extracted from a tobacco plant. No tobacco product has been shown to be safe. So it really seems like they are trying to convince us that these are the same as cigarettes. So who knows, but you guys can make your own impression on that. I'm just here to test the damn thing. Now offhand, I had heard about a year ago with the earlier versions of the Vuse that they were very heavy. And I gotta say, this one's not especially heavy compared to other e-cigs on the market. I would say it's heavier than the Enjoy King and heavier than the Infinity, but not by much. Alright, well you got that on the end, I assume is gonna light up. And it's pretty much, that's all there is to it, it looks like. So the shape, design, feel, not terrible. Obviously it's not as small and compact as the Enjoy. Alright, let's just go ahead then. I don't see anything else I have to pull off or any other air holes I've got to open, so I'm just going to go ahead and try and drag it. Yeah, not terrible flavor. It's a tobacco-y, maybe a little bit of a sweet kind of tobacco-y flavor, so it definitely wouldn't be something I would vape. Now one of the things I don't like on here is that you can't see what the nicotine levels are, and I have read some places that they may have nicotine levels as high as 48, which of course for most people 24 is the absolute highest you would use. Well, the big claim for Vuse is that they say they are the first microprocessor controlled electronic cigarette made in the US. Now that may be true if they're completely making their electronic cigarette in the US. I don't know for the juice. But I do know that there are electronic cigarette companies that have been using microprocess controlled batteries for a long time now. Like I said, they may not be completely manufactured in the US, but what does it really matter if the quality's there? So I can't say I'm overly impressed with this Vuse, although it does put out pretty good vapor production. And I've heard some bad stuff about the flavor, but I can't say it's the worst tasting e-juice I've had, at least not for tobacco flavor. So the real question then is not how this compares to everything else on the market, but how it compares to these, which may be the options for somebody down at their corner store. Now for a lot of people who aren't going to shop online, which, you know, let's face it, a lot of people are never going to put their credit card information online. My father's like that, would never do it. So you're going to have the options of what you got in your town. Now luckily most towns now, vape shops are popping up, and so you're going to have options for a lot of the kind of products that you're going to see here on my shelf that I'm vaping on all the time. I'll grab something at random here just to give you a sample of the difference on kind of vape you can get. So even places like the little town I live in are starting to get vape shops. I think we got 3 of them in this town now. I was over at Ocean Shores on the coast. They just had a vape shop popping up. So most people will have access locally to this type of equipment soon, but if you're somebody who doesn't want to put out a lot of money or you're just trying to test them out, the majority of people coming into e-cigs are still going to start with something like this. Now I was with a couple primer puffs. That's probably about the biggest vapor cloud that I can get off of this thing. And I can feel a little bit of warming up right at where the battery meets the cartridge here, where the atomizer is. So it's not the kind of thing you're going to want to puff on endlessly, but like I said, it produces a decent vapor cloud. So for somebody, one time, you got $8 in your pocket, you're at the corner store, you want to try a disposable, sure. Maybe you've tried the Enjoy, you didn't get much vapor, you want to try something with a little bit bigger vapor production. That would be about the only reason I would really recommend this. And then I do have to say, for the people who try something like this and you like it and you see the potential, which is I think where most of us were at one point, for me it was Vuse was the first one I tried. And it just wasn't putting out enough vapor, the battery life was terrible, they would blink off and turn on all the time just with loud noises and things, but I could still see the potential. I could tell that this product could work if it was just better. So if you get to that point where you're actually trying these out and you think they have potential, but they're just not quite cutting it for you, then I can't recommend highly enough. You come back, you try a safe, legit company online. There's nothing wrong with shopping online, letting that mailman come and bring you your package, as long as you know where you're doing it, and it's a good, safe company. And there are several good electronic cigarette companies online that you can get that are all going to beat anything you get at the corner store. Halo, V2s, Ecigs, all been around for a long time and actually adapt their products to the vaping needs of the community, as opposed to just trying to give us something that is as close to a cigarette as they can get. My personal conclusion on the Vuse e-cigarette is I would probably give it about a 3 or a 3.5 stars out of 5, considering the Enjoy King to be a 5-star disposable electronic cigarette. So I would say about a mid-range, middle-of-the-pack type of disposable e-cig. Really nothing overly impressive, nothing new or different about it. It just seems kind of like they built a run-of-the-mill standard average electronic cigarette. I guess considering they just got in the game, maybe this is about the best they're able to produce at this point. So all I can say is big tobacco, I don't mind you getting in the game, but if you're going to get in the game, then get in the fucking game and do it right. Don't come in with this mediocre crap with your billion-dollar budgets and spend all your money on multi-million-dollar advertising campaigns. Put a little bit of fucking money into your research and development and build a superior e-cig. At least that'd be my advice, but who's listening to me? Alright guys, that does it for me on this Review Wednesday. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. Make sure you don't miss tomorrow's video as we get back to some big boy vaping. Put these kid toys away and take a look at the AeroTank Turbo as our viewer requested product for tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more e-cigarette reviews, and tell me what your experience with the Vuse or any other disposable corner store electronic cigarettes has been down in the comments below. Even if you don't like them, is that where you started? Don't forget, that may have been the bridge that brought you across, even if we leave it behind once we get here. Alright guys, and if you're curious, I will put a link underneath this video to what I consider to be the best electronic cigarette on the market right now, the Ecig.